Twice a year, the peace and serenity of this tiny community nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains is shattered by the thunderous roar of race engines. Tonight is just such a night as we welcome you live to Thunder Valley Bristol Motor Speedway for the 19th running of the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division Food City 250. Historically, when the Busch Series cars have taken to the high banks of Bristol, Tennessee, we've learned to expect the unexpected. Typically, one has to turn the lights out to see the fireworks, but here, it all starts when the lights come on. Arguably, no other track can boast such variety when it comes to winners. Since the fall of 1995, this high-banked horseshoe has sent 10 different drivers galloping to victory lane. And we've seen everything from birth announcements to wedding proposals. No doubt victory lane here has been quite sensational. Speaking of sensational, except for this somersault that began the season in the South Florida sun, Jeff Green's wheels have carried him toward an unforgettable year, highlighted by 6 poles and 5 wins today. Even a disappointing 14th place finish last week at Michigan couldn't put a dent in his formidable points lead. But tonight, dents will come early and often. Remember, this is Bristol, where anything can happen and usually does. 37-year-old Jeff Green has dominated about every major category in NASCAR Busch Series competition this year. His 5 wins include 3 on the short tracks, but he has never won here at Thunder Valley Bristol Motor Speedway. And that might provide a glimmer of hope for tonight's starting field. Right, Bill Weber?
Absolutely, Jerry. You know, for most of the season, the entire Busch Series has been chasing veteran Jeff Green. Tonight, at the green flag, they'll be chasing Series rookie Kevin Harvick, who just a few hours ago put his car on the pole when this entire field qualified in race trim. It's been an outstanding first season for Harvick, including his win at St. Louis. Now he has his 2nd pole of the season. And while he leads the field to the green flag, he's also chasing 3 drivers. He's 4th in points, 22 behind Jason Keller. Keller rolls off 3rd. He won here in the spring of 1999 and won earlier this year on the concrete at Dover. He's not just chasing Harvick, he's chasing Todd Bodine. 44 points out of 2nd. 2 Busch Series regulars with 2 big missions on 1 short track. Now here's Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, I think the Winston Cup drivers might have a little bit of an advantage tonight. Why? Well, we're going to see some wild action. We may even see some drivers get a little bit fired up, and it's the guys with experience that could have the advantage. Now, this race car, the Channel Lock Chevy, has Ted Musgrave behind the wheel tonight, but this is the exact same car that won here in the spring. He should be good tonight, and I think Kenny Wallace will be too. Kenny probably has the best record of all drivers here, and he won here in 1994. But the winner of the spring race was Sterling Marlin. And Sterling starts up here in row number 3. Tonight he's in the Bell South Chevy. But Sterling Marlin gets around here great. He won in the spring, and he's had top 10s in his last 3 races here. But the Winston Cup driver with the biggest advantage tonight might be Michael Waltrip. He finished 2nd last week at Michigan and is on a roll. Michael tested here in his number 99 car, and he said this car should get to the front in a hurry. These guys don't care about points. They came to Bristol to win. Jerry?
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons. Glad to have you with us tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Benny, we said at the very top of the show, at this place, the unusual becomes the usual. The unexpected, well, it's expected, and at this place, the driver's destiny is...
basically in someone else's hands, because things happen so doggone fast. These cars qualified, they'll race probably around 16 seconds, over 120-mile-per-hour average. So if something happens in front of you, you're in the wreck before you have a chance. When we talk about Jeff Green, he has dominated. So the point championship, the guys got to forget about that. They worry about one thing, trying to win. And it's going to be a struggle at this racetrack.
Indeed, with 9 events remaining in the NASCAR Busch Series season, Jeff Green holds a 550-point lead over Todd Bodine. Just 148 points separate 2nd from 5th, where Hornaday's a rookie, and look back in 10th spot. Jimmy Johnson, coming off that 6th place finish at Michigan, makes the fact that we have 3 rookies now in the top 10 in points. Now let's go down for the command we've all been waiting for, trackside. Gentlemen, start your engines. roars to life for 250 laps of action on this high bank concrete cage we call Bristol Motor Speedway. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents NASCAR. Our live coverage comes to you from Thunder Valley. High bank, short track action, NASCAR Busch Series style. The green flag in just a moment. Mile oval, identical front and back straightaway lengths, but look at the banking, 36 degrees. Daytona's banked 31 degrees, Talladega 33, 36 degrees here at Bristol. Our Suzuki starting grid shows you that Hollywood Handsome, we call him, Kevin Harvick will lead him down alongside happy birthday boy Casey Atwood, turns 20 years of age today here in Bristol.
And we see Philip Morris back in the 15th position, driving the number 30 car, 16 through 30. Tony Raines leads that group. Jason Jarrett back in the 11 car. He will start 30th.
And the remainder of our starters, there were 47 cars, or pardon me, 54 cars attempting to qualify here. Jeff Fuller takes a provisional back in the car number 77. Onboard cameras, there are 9 of them in tonight's event.
And there's a new one, the State Fair Corn Dogs, the 71 car. Dick Trickle, Jimmy Johnson. We see the light still on the pace car up there.
Glad to have you with us for exciting short track action. Final visit of the year for the NASCAR Busch Series cars to Bristol Motor Speedway. There's our Bell South car, Sterling Marlin, the yellow freight on top of the Aaron's Rents Chevrolet. Car number 99 for Michael Waltrip, who starts in 4th position. Our race analysis for the Food City 250, 250 laps, 133.25 miles, $698,000. The pit window for fuel, if we were never to get that far, but I would doubt it tonight, because of the action we see on the short tracks, is about 175 to 190 laps.
And no doubt will be caution flags before fuel would ever come into play here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, because you see lots of caution flags because the banks, as we showed you, 36 degrees. They go into them about 135 miles per hour. It's very difficult to run side by side, but you sometimes have just got to do it.
All right, our safety car pulls away, and Matt Abernathy is ready to wave the green flag at Bristol, Tennessee. After a good qualifying effort, sort of hung on the high side there on lap 1. The Davison Wade Motorsports 4, the car number 55. There's Michael as Hornaday goes beneath him for position.
And there's nothing he can do. He just can't get to the bottom of the racetrack. Kenny Speedo in the 36 car. There's Philip Morris at 30 right behind.
After qualifying in 8th position, now he finally gets able to get in line in front of the car number 30 of Philip Morris, a Little Tree Chevy.
And he is literally pushing down this front straightaway. So it's okay to pull in front of him, but when you do, go on.
Riding along with Philip Morris with the Little Tree's roof camera, the George Devidar owned machine. Car that Hermie Sadler had driven a number of times this year, with a great run out at Pikes Peak, by the way, in this car.
And we'll drive some more this year. So Michael Rich did go on. He pulled in away from Philip Morris. We see Kevin Harvick trying to pull away from Casey Atwood as Jason Keller, the 57 car, tries to stick his nose under the 27, can't quite do it.
Jason Keller, a winner here at Bristol back in the spring of '99 when he led 182 of 250 laps from the pole.
Oh, and Mike Dillon goes round back across the racetrack right in front of Kevin Grubb and Ted Musgrave, and Hermie Sadler spins now, and more contact as Bobby Hamilton Jr. and the fastest car in practice, Mike McLaughlin, is involved in the crash.
Heavy damage to Kevin Grubb's car.
Oh, man. Ah! That hurt.
I bet it did.
Mike Dillon's car spinning sideways. You got to wonder if Mike had some help. There's Ted Musgrave's channel lock machine.
And I doubt if they'll be going back out.
Let's go down to Ray.
Well, you're exactly right, Benny. Ted just came on the radio and said oil all over the windshield. It's obvious that a lot of damage to the engine there. I think their day is done.
Oh, what a tough break early on for so many competitors. And all began with Mike Dillon's car getting a little bit sideways. You got to wonder if maybe he didn't get a tap from behind, or the car may have just gotten loose off the corner, but he just abruptly turned sideways.
I would guess that's exactly what happened. And we talked about your destiny to be in someone else's hands. If something happens in front, those guys behind, it's just... Here we see Dillon coming off the corner. And I don't know if there was contact. It was with Jeff Green. It was back in the corner. But see him backing across the racetrack. And then we talked about it. He backs across the racetrack. Kevin Grubb, the 37 car, and Musgrave with 82, no place to go. Hermie Sadler goes spinning down. And here comes McLaughlin. Watch this. Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets in the side of McLaughlin as he's forced down by the 37 car.
Watch Dick Trickle trying to get through it in the Snyder Trucking Chevrolet. And now from the back of the channel lock machine. Well, just that quickly here on lap number 7, the first caution flag of the evening comes out, and at least a half a dozen cars are involved. The 21 of Mike Dillon's fans up across the racetrack. Kevin Grubb, Ted Musgrave, Hermie Sadler, and others are involved. Back in a moment. In the early laps of the Food City 250, we are under caution for the first time tonight, coming out on lap number 7. An incident off of turn 2 involving the 21 of Mike Dillon.
On board with Kevin LePage as he comes off the corner. And there's Jason Leffler going around. We didn't see that before. And Kevin LePage drives through all the carnage. And I don't think hit anything. Here's Elton Sawyer, his look. Hermie Sadler spins right in front of him, but Elton goes on the outside. Tony Raines drives through all that in the 33 car. But here's how it all started. Mike Dillon, the 21 car, spins and comes back up the racetrack right in front of the 37 Kevin Grubb, the 82 of Ted Musgrave, and then they start running into each other in the back. And there the 48 car, he thinks he's got this missed. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets a bang from the 37 and drives it into the 48.
And the cars involved in the crash, they work on Ted Musgrave's car down in the pits. Musgrave, Kevin Grubb, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Mike Dillon, Mike McLaughlin. Also involved Hermie Sadler with minimal damage, and Jason Leffler looped it around in the MB&A Pontiac. Back with more live action in just a moment. Tennessee, well, exciting action coming up. Flying through the air, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's 16-year-old Travis Pastrana. The freestyle motocross finals coming up next on the X Games.
Report from down the 21 pits is that the 10 car of Jeff Green did make some contact back in the second corner, which is what caused Mike Dillon to spin. Bill Weber?
And Dillon's got a lot of damage, Benny, a lot of damage to the left front of the car and damage around the side of the body. But just so you get the other side of the story, too, the 10 team reports the 21 came down on the 10, and that's what precipitated the wreck.
Thank you very much, Bill.
And I'm sure that will not be the first disagreement we have tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are back to green flag racing here after the first caution flag, and Kevin Harvick gets a good jump and pulls by about 8 car lengths over Casey Atwood, who leads Jason Keller by a car length and a half. Single file racing here. We are still inside of 25 laps of 250. In fact, we'll click off lap number 20 that time by.
There's David Green, the 34 car, started back in the 38th position and is being shown right now 21st. Although about 5 or 6 of them wrecked to help him go by those cars, but nevertheless.
Haley Green, the 1994 Busch Series champion in that car, former winner here back at Bristol Motor Speedway. How about the 77 car, Benny? Jeff Fuller started back in 43rd position in a provisional starting spot.
And now running the 28th position.
Show you the top of the show. There have been 10 different Busch Series winners in the last 10 events here, and Jeff Fuller was one of those.
Yes, he was. One in the 59 car, or the ST Motorsports car here several years ago. That 39 car that you see behind Jeff Fuller is Andy Kirby, who runs a few races each year in the NASCAR Busch Series.
But may be coming full-time next year. On board the Clarence Brewer car. Out front, heating up a little bit now for second position.
Jason Keller right now in the 57 car is exercising a little bit of patience because to stay on his back bumper the way the
Problem with Kelly Denton, he almost think he might have gone to the wall coming off turn 2, the car very high, trying to get the pit road as the field comes by.
And we've got a crash down the front stretch. I see Dick Trickle's involved. Blaze Alexander's involved. And the 18 of Jason Leffler's involved. At least 3 cars involved off the corner. And it just keeps getting worse and worse for Blaze Alexander. There's Jason Leffler with a lot of damage to the right side of his car.
Boy, and Leffler didn't make it unscathed this time. He spun on the previous caution flag and didn't get a scratch. This one, he's not quite so lucky with Joe Gibbs' own car. The impressive rookie driver will head to pit road. There is the Dick Trickle car, the Snyder trucking team trying to pull some sheet metal away. Let's show you what happened here on lap 25.
There we see someone, it might have been the 92 car of Jimmy Johnson. Gets into Trickle coming off turn 4 and turns him around, and he spins back across the racetrack, very similar to the... And Randy LaJoy is also involved. We see LaJoy was hit by Blaze Alexander, and he runs into the outside retaining wall, and looks like some pretty good damage to LaJoy's car. Let's see. This is Jimmy Johnson on board the Alltel onboard camera. There he is, and there's the bump, and there's Johnson goes by. And folks, it just doesn't take much. Here's Dick Trickle. Let's watch him listen.
See Leffler come by. There's Blaze Alexander. You hear the contact. Looks like Blaze Alexander, the kind of week Blaze has had, I mean, it would be sort of typical. That's the way he would end this week.
It'd almost be assured that Blaze would be in some kind of crash. His crew chief was fined $22,500 last week after Michigan, where he finished about 39th. He tested at Richmond Monday, came on Monday night and found his boat on the bottom of the lake. It had sunk.
And now he's a victim at an incident on lap 25 at Bristol Motor Speedway. We are working caution for the second time tonight. Back with more live Busch Series action in just a moment. Perfect timing. Back for the green flag at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, bringing you live NASCAR Busch Series action from Thunder Valley. Trying to make a move on the back of the 99 car. That is the car of Michael Waltrip. Normally he drives number 7, but with the Aaron's Rent sponsorship going to number 99. Tony Raines.
And we see Todd Bodine, last week's winner, get on the inside of Philip Morris, take a spot away, and now here comes Elton Sawyer trying to do the same thing. And Philip, the freight train has just started. You're going to be the caboose when this thing's over.
Wow, Todd Bodine last August started 35th and finished 5th. He works traffic like a master here at Bristol, Tennessee.
And Philip Morris got back in a hole. How about that? Good job. See Jimmy Johnson back there working on the back of Hank Parker Jr. in the black and yellow number 53. There's a battle for, I'm sorry, Jerry, a battle back for the 16th position.
That indeed is Elton Sawyer. Running a little over 116.8 miles per hour. Still looking for his first win this season. Had a second up at Nazareth.
Outside, looking out the back bumper of the 30 car. The little trees onboard camera looks back at Elton Sawyer. You can see just how fast these cars are going and how much pressure they're putting on the springs, shocks, tires.
There's Sterling Marlin, who won here in the spring from 16th starting spot, and our current Busch Series points leader, Jeff Green, the Nesquik Chevrolet. We're going to take a look at our Circuit City telemetry.
Oh,
whoa.
Well, that helped out the miles per hour a little bit as he bumped him coming off the corner. We see he goes down the corner about 128 miles per hour.
Jeff Green a little anxious to get by Sterling Marlin. That is for the 5th position. Sterling is 5th. Jeff is 6th.
Comes by the start-finish line, 130 miles per hour that time.
Wow, 130 miles per hour on a half-mile racetrack.
And watch, there we see Sterling and the 10 car, Jeff Green, and the Kenny Wallace back in the last car right behind these two guys.
That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. Meanwhile, the 30 in the 98 car, still battling it out. Elton Sawyer back in the car number 98 as you watch this battle continue. There we'll see the 98 car. There's Todd Bodine making a move.
Yes, he is trying to get on the inside of Michael Rich. Couldn't quite make it. That's Tim Fiedler, the 36 car, leading this group. Tony Raines behind it.
Todd Bodine started back in 20th position, being shown currently in the 12th spot. Tim Fiedler with a 36 car is in 10th. Then comes Michael Rich, 11th. Todd Bodine, 12th. The 33 car of Tony Raines. That's the Bayer car. And Jimmy Johnson is up in the wall.
Whoa, man, Mark Green just barely got by. And Jimmy Johnson gets the all-Pell Chevrolet going. But there's some pretty good damage to the left rear.
You're going to come around. You're going to get caught up and come around, okay?
That's Rambo.
Now, this thing is bad loose. Now it's worse.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot worse now.
Hustle up. Come on.
The rear deck lid knocked off.
Hey, let's tape that deck lid down. Get us some bungee cords. We're going to tape that deck lid down. Lauren, watch the spotter. Watch the spotter.
Rambo is Tony Liberati, who is the crew chief there for Stanley and Randy Herzog. Let's watch what happened a moment ago to Jimmy Johnson.
I think we're going to get some contact with Jimmy Spencer. There we see the contact, and wow, Ricky Craven, that red and blue car almost spun down on the apron of the racetrack. On board with Jimmy Johnson. Let's listen going down in turn 3. That's the sound you did not like to hear.
The grinding and the crunching of short track action. Well, Kevin Grubb was involved in the first incident on lap number 7. He's standing by in the pits.
But, Jerry, that seems like a long time ago, but we finally caught up with you. The first question is, are you all right? And tell us what happened out there. Looks like it's pretty wild.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Ray. I'm fine, but the Timberwolf Chevrolet is not looking as good at the time right now. It's hurting, but yeah, you kind of expect it going to Bristol. You're saying about a 50% chance of finishing the race. And I think I love and hate this track at the same time. You know, I always have good runs here, but at the same time, you know, you're always looking, you know, right in the face of trouble. So, you know, you can have a real good night, and if you finish here, you're going to finish good, and we just didn't finish tonight.
Well, this is the 6th time Kevin Grubb has raced here, and only once, guys, has he finished on the lead lap. That happens to a lot of drivers here at Bristol.
Well, he finished 7th here in the spring of 1999. Tough break for the youngster from Mechanicsville, Virginia. Good crowd on hand watching exciting NASCAR Busch Series action. How exciting is it? Well, our latest incident involved these two guys. On lap 41, as Jimmy Spencer and the rookie Jimmy Johnson come around, and Johnson gets the grind and crunch of the Bristol wall. The caution out for 5 laps, a 3rd time this afternoon. If you just joined us, Kevin Harvick has been our pole sitter and led all 48 laps thus far. There have been 3 caution flags, one on lap 7 involving a handful of cars. Kevin Grubb, the most heavily damaged, along with Ted Musgrave. One on lap 25, and one on lap 40 a moment ago with Jimmy Johnson and Jimmy Spencer.
25 car is Kenny Wallace. He's running back in the 7th spot. John Hornaday in 8th.
Watch our short track action. We are joined by the 1995 most popular driver in Busch Series competition. Chad Little has stopped by to join us for a few minutes. And Chad, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Jerry. It's good to be back up here. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. This is a different seat than you're normally accustomed to, huh?
Yeah, but I'd still rather be down there running around and beating and banging.
That's what they're doing tonight. Serious beating and banging going on.
Chad finished 10th last week at Michigan, driving the McDonald's car. Now joined as an analyst on this show in Bristol, Tennessee. There's the 55 car. Michael Rich trying to hold his position.
Right now, the 36 car. Right, we see Todd Bodine on the inside. And Michael Rich, if he can get on the inside, which he does, just for contact, no, he gets by. I think that Fiedel right there was a little bit slower than that group. And he had all these guys jammed up behind him as Tony Raines now goes by. And I guess the plane is going by Tim Fiedel right now.
Right now, Fiedel was praying to his spotter to hear clear low, clear low.
Now the 98 jumps on the inside of Philip Morris and takes a spot away.
Elton Sawyer in the car number 98. David Green. Now here comes David from the back of the field at car 34. It started 38. The AFG Glass Chevrolet. He's marching toward the front, now being shown in 15th position.
Jeff Fuller being passed by Jeff Purvis in the 4 car. Lyndon Amick in the 35, and Phil Parsons making a little contact with Fuller as they come off 4. Now Fuller dives to the bottom of the racetrack.
Remember, Jeff Fuller started back in 43rd position. The Lear UAW Ford has moved all the way up into the top 20.
Mike McLaughlin, the 48 car, we saw him involved in that early crash. But he has his car back on the racetrack. It looks like it's running pretty well.
Chad Little, as you watch this, is there such a thing as a clean pass at Bristol, Tennessee? Can you get by clean without having to just rub somebody?
Well, it's really hard because when you're on the inside and guys on the outside of you, you don't have a chance to kind of scoot up in the middle as your car wants to take you. And the guy on the outside doesn't want to give too much room because he's already worried about the freight train behind him. So it's a tough thing.
How tough is it to control your temper here when you get beat and banged on here lap after lap?
The tempers are out of control from the start of the race. So, it's just a matter of trying to make sure that when you do get mad, you don't put yourself in jeopardy.
One driver told me, said, I'm mad when I buckle up the race out here. We hadn't fired the engine yet. I'm already angry. That's Bristol, folks. That's what it's all about. Chad Little joining us as an analyst along with Benny Parsons. I'm Jerry Punch. We are showing 59 laps complete. Now 60 laps complete with 250 here, which make up this Food City event.
See Hermie Sauter, the 7 car. And I don't think he wants to hit that 30 car because that's basically his car. He'll be driving that some the rest of the year. Oh! Just drives in on that 4 car. Jason Leffler back on the racetrack in the NBS car. That was Philip Morris's radio. They told him, okay, you're clear. Go get that 36. Pass that fella.
Pushing worse, MLB.
He said, I don't know who's pushing worse, the 36 or myself. That was Philip Morris talking.
What he meant by pushing is when he goes into the corner, the front end scoots up in the middle and it doesn't turn or get directional coming off, so it's hard to use that throttle.
Fiedel up, Philip Morris. Fiedel with the 36. Philip Morris, the 30. Hermie Sadler. Meanwhile, up front, here's the guy they're chasing, the AC Delco Chevrolet. Rookie driver, yes, I said rookie driver, 24 years of age, Kevin Harvick, driving for Richard Childress. Already a winner this year, already a winner this year.
We can see he's stretched out pretty good on Casey Atwood in the 27 car. That's Casey in the Castrol, been followed closely by 57. Jason Keller, that is a battle for 2nd and 3rd.
Casey Atwood, if you just joined us, celebrating a birthday today. He is now 20 years of age.
And Buckshot Jones, the 00, the Cheesy car, he crashed in practice today, had to go to a backup car, and it looks like he's really struggled trying to find the handle on this backup car.
Buckshot being shown 33rd, a lap down. 30 cars, 32 cars are on the lead lap, with Jason Jarrett being shown as the last car right now on the lead lap.
Car, Michael Waltrip go down to one a while ago, and I thought he had a flat tire. Watch as he goes up the racetrack past the slow car of Mike Dillon. But the last time, I didn't think a slow car was there, and Michael was up there. check and make sure that his car isn't pushing and he's driving the car if they're trying to find some grip.
Benny, you know, we're right now in that segment of the race where the guys are probably wanting tires. They're waiting for the next caution to come in and get new tires, or that, you know, their cars are starting to slide up and they need some new rubber on those things.
One thing about it here at Bristol, it won't take long for another caution flag, will it?
No, they're pretty safe in knowing that they're going to get one pretty soon. Remember, in the Busch Series now, they have a tire roll, and it's probably 3 sets. 2 sets under caution here today.
They'll allow them 2 per position, so they'll have to sort of monitor what they want to do. But, you know, we're almost a third of the way through, so as you said, Chad Little, if they get a caution flag, these guys are going to want some fresh rubber.
12 car of Jimmy Spencer now. After we saw that contact, he's taking over the 23rd spot. I'm talking about the 12 and the 92 had some contact. Jeff Purvis in the 4 just past Hank Parker Jr.
Porter Cable Pontiac for Purvis at the car number 4. The 23 is the Agree sponsorship. That is Ricky Craven at his 4th position. Here being shown back in 21st and 22nd spot.
Kyle Petty, the sprint car, has spent several visits to pit road on the backstretch. I don't know what they've been working on the car, but whatever they're doing, it looks like it's making the car better.
Kyle got nailed about 15 laps from behind on one of the restarts, and he had the car completely sideways and saved it off of turn 2.
Now the 12th car is trying to pass on the outside. Okay, it looks like he's past the 40. Oh! Thought there was contact there, but I guess not.
I think Kyle was pretty polite there.
Now all of a sudden Kyle's car looks like once again he's having some struggling to get around the track.
Kyle Petty, the sprint PCS Chevrolet. And the 12 car Spencer very high and slow on the racetrack. Gotta wonder if he's maybe cut a tire.
And there's just no place to get down. The right front tire looks like he's made contact with a wall or something.
They're telling us the left rear may be down the left rear tire, we're being told from the crew on the Zippo Chevrolet. There it is.
Yep. Probably run over some debris on the track and cut the tire down and punctured it.
That brings out the 4th caution flag today on lap 76. Watch, maybe there was some contact. Could they have lost a valve stem possibly, Benny?
Yeah, there is. That's very, very possible, because when you make contact like that, the valve stem where you put the air in, sometimes it knocks that off and knocks the air out of the car. The air leaks out through the damaged valve stem.
Well, 4th caution flag of the evening. This coming out on lap number 76. Jimmy Spencer with a flat left rear.
What a great shot. You can see right there where the tire goes down and the rim actually hits the racetrack and the sparks come out.
And now, as Chad Little predicted, we're going to see some pit stops. 2 tires per position. Kevin Harvick leads them down. The leaders on pit road at 35 miles per hour. Bill Evers.
Well, a lot to watch for here. Remember, the pit road here very tight on the front stretch and tricky to get out of the back stretch. Kevin Harvick has done a magnificent job weaving his way through traffic. No chassis adjustments. He gets 4 tires. Casey Atwood with a track bar adjustment behind him, waiting on the left front on the 2. He's away. Great pit stop. Now a slow stop for the 27. Hung up on the left front. Keller beats him out. So does Green and Hornaday to the 27 in front of Michael Waltrip.
Well, pit action continuing here under this 4th caution flag tonight.
And we're told that Jimmy Spencer, ever see Ron Hornaday, some of the observers are saying he had a great pit stop, will gain some position. From 9th he goes 9th to 4th.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, great pit stop for Ron Hornaday. He came in here for 4 tires. They made a wedge adjustment on the right rear, and they went down a little bit on air pressure on the right front. These guys got him in and out quick. I don't know how many positions he gained there, BP, but a bunch.
Well, actually, I guess he went to 6th spot because Kyle Petty and Mike Stefanik have not stopped yet. They're running 1st and 2nd now. Of the cars that pitted, he was 4th best.
Now, we are being told that NASCAR is going to penalize the 12 car of Jimmy Spencer for stopping on the racetrack to bring out the caution flag rather than coming on the pit road. I guess they will hold him a lap for that and also another lap for pulling up to pit. So we'll try to clarify that. We are being told they may have held Jimmy Spencer 2 laps under caution for the 4th time tonight. Back with more in a moment. As the leader, he did not pit in the Sprint Chevrolet. The car just in front of Kyle is Phil Parsons. He is now back on the tail end of the lead lap.
And Kevin Harvick, the 2 car, moves into the second spot as he goes by Mike Stefanik. Jason Keller gets on the inside, so he goes into third. And now here comes Jeff Green as we said all night. Once you get on the outside, the train just never seems to stop. And we see the 27 is in front of the 3. I guess on your further review, NASCAR said that the 27 beat the 3 out of the pits and put him back in that spot.
Yeah, he was pitting near the end of pit road and pulled up with his nose across the line, so therefore he was going to be able to be in front on the restart.
There's a 99 car, Michael Waltrip, our yellow freight Panico onboard camera. He's back in the 7th position. 90 car loses another spot, and battle for the lead, and Kevin Harvick back in front.
Harvick goes by Kyle Petty. Here is Jason Keller trying to go by Jeff Green. The 10 car is our points leader.
And Hornaday had the audacity to try to drive up on the outside of Casey Atwood.
Let's get an update on the Todd Bodine problem in the pit stop.
But Jerry, Todd had moved up through the field pretty well, but when he came in that last time, the air gun on the right rear jammed up, and they had to get another gun out there, so that cost them a lot of time. They took off, came back in for a second pit stop, so he's back in the mid-20s now after he had moved up into the field pretty well, but an air gun problem was what brought him back in.
Tough break for Todd Bodine, last week's winner in Michigan, picking up his 11th career victory. Kyle Petty slides up high. Kenny Wallace goes by. Jay Sauter, the rookie driver. Car number 43 going by, as does Michael Rich.
7 car, Hermie Sadler, made an unscheduled pit stop. Appeared to be a flat tire. He's now going back down pit road.
Quality Farm and Country car of Jay Sauter, starting back in 13th position. Now being shown in 9th spot.
Yes, they're still racing side by side, or nose to tail. The 36 car Fido and the 30 of Philip Morris. And Purvis drives to the inside of Jason Jarrett, takes away a spot. Oh, a little contact there. That's rubbing and racing there as Fido gets on the inside of the 90 car.
Boy, Chad Little, when you're up there where Stefanik is, you're sort of in no man's land.
You know, it's really a tough place to be because obviously his car isn't working very good or he wouldn't be up there. He's wanting to get down, and there's so many cars out here. If he does get down, he's got to go right back up. It's a no man's land. It's a tough place to be, and you're really relying on your spotter a lot, not trying to get in anyone's way.
Be Todd Bodine after that problem in the pits is trying to work his way back to the front. Last time by, he was in 24th position.
Kevin LePage in the State Fair Corn Dogs, car number 71, going by. Been frequent competitor in Busch Series competition. Andy Kirby, the Williams Travel Center Chevrolet, possibly on board for him for next year.
There's Kevin Denton in the 75 car. He is about 16, 17 laps down. We see the 66 car being passed by, thought he was passing David, being passed by Green, but I guess he was in fact passing David.
Todd Bodine now being shown back in 20th position, moving his way up after you heard Ray Dunlap comment on the problems on pit road with the air gun. Todd is a master at working traffic. I told you at the top of the show, he finished 5th here last spring, or I started last fall in the August race from 35th starting position. Elton Sawyer in the car number 98. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Tony Raines, getting a close-up view of the Alka-Seltzer Chevrolet. There's Elton Sawyer.
He's running the 11th spot. And Tony Raines will see some pretty good damage to the left front of his car. Back in 12th position. There's the injured car of Triple continuing around the racetrack.
Well, you see these cars all bent and folded up in the front. I guess, well, how much does aerodynamics play here, Chad? I mean,
Not very much, really. I mean, you could almost take the fenders off the car here. If your car's handling really well, you'll still run just as good. But, what I noticed in the in-car camera shot there is it's hard to appreciate at home, but our cars at home very seldom see more than about 1 inch of wheel travel in the shock when we're driving on the street. Here on these cars in the corners, we're seeing 4.5 and 5 inches in the rear shock travel, and that's how violent the cars are moving up and down here in the corners, is the speeds that we're going into these corners and exiting the corners.
How much of that do you actually feel in the driver's seat?
You feel a lot. You feel a whole bunch of it. It's a lot smoother now than it was a couple years ago, but at the same time, it's still very bumpy. And you notice the cars when they go in and they exit, they drive off the concrete a little bit and onto the pavement. That's where you really feel it.
Hank Parker Jr. in 53, being challenged by Todd Bodine. Both of them trying to get up on the inside of Mike McLaughlin in the 48. I guess the reason McLaughlin isn't going anywhere is the car in front of him, the 35. Lennon Amick. All these cars get on the inside of Ricky Craven in 23, taking spots away.
3 stories high is Bristol Motor Speedway. They call it a 3-story high concrete cage. Now the action heats up there between Hank Parker Jr., Rick Rathbun Team Marine Chevrolet, and Todd Bodine. And how about up front? Kevin Harvick trying to work some traffic right in front of him, and he's a rookie driver, remember. Although he doesn't drive like a rookie, very talented young man.
Buckshot Jones are going around. Yes, Kevin Harvick is a very, very talented race car driver, as is Jason Keller, Jeff Green, Jason Jarrett in the 11 car, going a lap down to the leader.
Well, as you watch these guys, some of these Winston Cup competitors running in the Busch Series, Chad, what about plans for the rest of this year to run some more Busch events and maybe even next year?
Well, I don't have anything definitely next year yet. We're still working on a couple of things. Of course, I'm talking with Cal Wells a lot, but as far as running some Busch races, yeah, I've got plans to run another 3 or 4 Busch races, and we'll just have to wait and see. Busch races are a lot of fun to drive as a Cup driver. You don't have the pressure on you as you normally would in the Cup Series, or the points pressure, that side of it, so it's a lot of fun to go out and do that.
Did a great job in the McDonald's car last week at Michigan, finishing 10th. Thanks for coming up and visiting a little bit, Chad. Chad Little. Tomorrow night we will see you here running 500 laps at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And I hope I can run all 500 of them.
Yeah, if you run 500, you're going to have a good finish, aren't you?
Great night.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, good luck to you, man.
All right, Chad Little, former most popular driver in the NASCAR Busch Series. They're wheeling at John Deere Ford here tomorrow night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Side-by-side action everywhere. What's typical Bristol, Benny?
Well, side-by-side is not typical. Nose to tail is typical, and we see the 77 and 53. Jeff Fuller, Hank Parker Jr., and Fuller takes that spot away.
Well, I'm impressed with Jeff Fuller. 43rd starting position, and he's now being shown in 21st spot, giving that Lear Ford a ride of its life. As we approach the halfway mark here, moving in on 125 of 250 laps, and this, the 19th running of the NASCAR Busch Series Food City 250. Kevin Harvick is our leader. Back in a moment. Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons, Bill Eber, and Ray Dunlap, bringing you exciting live NASCAR Busch Series action. Kevin Harvick, car number 2, is our leader as he gets to halfway, this time by the cross flags from Matt Abernathy. 125 laps down, 125 to go.
Hank Parker Jr. in the 53 car, the Marines car, obviously does not want to be lapped. So he's trying his best to stay in front of the leader. And that's presented some problems for Harvick. Harvick trying to get on the inside. There's a slower car, Bobby Hamilton Jr. up there. He's been involved in a crash earlier in the night.
Hank Parker 12th in the points, driving Rick Rathbun's Team Marines Racing Chevrolet, trying to hold on, hoping for maybe a caution flag, maybe to get his car dialed in, but Harvick back there just chomping at the bit to get by. Kevin Harvick can't wait too long, Benny, because Jason Keller is only a couple of car lengths back.
Okay, he's got to run now on Parker Jr. There's not much that Hank can do except give him the space. Because if you don't, there's going to be a wreck.
Bonner says inside. Parker gives the room, and now Keller will go by because the door has been opened, and also Jeff Green will try to get by.
Battle for the 7th position. Kenny Wallace, a 25 Lance car, takes it away from Hornaday.
Now Hornaday tries to come back, but now Kenny will drive it deep in the middle of that turn and pull him by a car length. Started in 9th, currently being shown in 7th position, the Lance Snacks car for Ed Renzi. Erling Marlin, the Bell South colors, the 01, battling with fellow Winston Cup regular Michael Waltrip. As we look back from Michael's yellow freight bumper cam.
Michael is running in 5th spot, and you see the last time that Sterling Marlin was about a half mile per hour, a little more than a half mile per hour faster than Michael as they go by Andy Kirby in the 39 car.
Heavy traffic up front.
Jeff Fuller, the 77, about to go a lap down. Kyle Petty is going a lap down the sprint car. Remember, he was the leader when they restarted this thing.
Heavy congestion up front, right in front of the leader, Kevin Harvick. They go by the injured Blaze Alexander car. Again, if you just joined us, the car number 2, the AC Delco car, is our leader. That is Kevin Harvick. The 77 and 48 are trying to keep him going down laps as Harvick is trying to pull up behind them. 48, Mike McLaughlin,
This is really helping the guys back off 6th through 15th because as Harvick is trying to get by these cars, they're slowly making up ground on, let me see, Harvick almost getting on the inside of McLaughlin. They're closing up on Harvick.
Losing valuable time with the leaders here. Knocking off 2 seconds there. Trying to get around Mike McLaughlin, who was in 20th position. And now there will just be 19 cars on the lead lap with Jeff Fuller in the 77 car. The red car right in front of the leader. They're going in the turn. That is Jeff Fuller in 19th position.
He just passed the 35 car, did Fuller, to take over the 18th spot. And now the 35 will Lyndon Amick being lapped by the 2 car of Harvick. Now the 57 goes by.
Kevin Harvick was the pole sitter, led the bulk of this one tonight. Has led twice for 128 of the 138 laps we have completed thus far.
So he's going to win the Gatorade money for leading the most laps today.
The only other leader was Kyle Petty for 9 laps during the caution flag. Now the 77 of Jeff Fuller does go a lap down, but give a call to him for the effort he put in to bring that car from the very back of the field all the way to 18th position.
See, Philip Morris, the Little Trees car, the next car to go a lap down to Kevin Harvick.
Car number 10. He's our points leader, the Nesquik machine. Now Harvick moving on the inside of Philip Morris.
It took Kevin Harvick a little while to figure out the NASCAR Busch Series. I knew that he was a terrific, talented race car driver and would do great, but it looks like it took him about half a year to figure it out. But in the last 6 or 7 races, it looks like he's pretty well got it figured out.
What a talented young man, 1998 Winston West Series champion, a former Southwest Series rookie year back in 95. Ran the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 99, where he finished 12th in the points. Now has 2 poles at Dover and at Bristol, and 1 win this year as a rookie already. That win coming at Gateway back on July 29.
Well, nothing has changed with the battle between Sterling Marlin in 01 and Michael Waltrip in 99. Meanwhile, I'll tell you that Jimmy Spencer is taking the Zippo car back down pit road on the back stretch. On board the Bell South Mobility, 01 of Sterling Marlin, as they go by the Mike McLaughlin car. The injured Mike McLaughlin car, I might add, involved in one of her earlier crashes.
Mentioned earlier, Jimmy Spencer's car held a couple of laps. He had a cut bounced him. I'm not sure. He was trying to get the pit road. I think he just blocked getting the pit road and couldn't get down there.
Well, all the cars were all the way around the racetrack, and he felt like the best thing for him to do was stop and let NASCAR throw the caution, but NASCAR did not like that. Instead of stopping on the racetrack.
Instead of pulling in front of somebody and creating a wreck, so tough break for Jimmy after having a good run early on. While they're still chasing the man they jokingly call Hollywood Handsome, Kevin Harvick. What a nice young man at the age of 24. He is showing the way at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is Harvick, Keller, Green, Atwood, and Michael Waltrip in the top 5. Caution that came out on lap 150. Leaders have been on and off pit road. Casey Atwood's car now being held in the pits because he was pitting with the right side tires outside of his box. What a terrible break for Atwood. Here's what happened a moment ago to bring out the yellow flag.
Philip Morris comes off the corner, and there's some contact, appears to be with the 77 car of Jeff Fuller, and around goes Morris, and you can see just tremendous contact with the inside wall. Bill Weber?
Well, Casey Atwood sits on pit road being held by NASCAR for pitting outside of his box. Now he's going to be released. The argument from the crew is that he could not possibly fit into his box because there was a car already pitted behind him and a car in the stall in front of him. They're not buying that. Atwood was running fourth at the time, has had a great run, but a lengthy penalty and a poor stop will penalize him several positions.
Man, that is so bad. Terrible break for Casey Atwood.
All right, a replay once again from Philip Morris's car.
And Jason Lepper also spun either to avoid Philip Morris or someone made contact. And there you see Casey Atwood sitting outside his box. There he is. Now these cars will finish. Here comes the 57 and here comes the 2. I think the 2 got out first, I do believe. Is it the white line or the yellow line? Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, Jeff Green's car was a little bit tied off, so they made a change on the left rear, but he said it's pretty good right now, he thinks. He came in third, went out in third, but the car that I'm most impressed with today is Jeff Purvis. Now, he's pitting on the backstretch, so to gain track position on this round of pit stops, he only took 2 tires. Purvis is now all the way up to 6th position. He's having a great run after starting 35th deep in the field today.
Jeff Purvis with Doug Richard as a crew chief. Second place finishes 3 times in the last 5 events. He's coming, folks. Back in a moment. On lap 150, an incident involving Philip Morris, who spun. Jason Leffler also spun. The leaders have been on and off pit road. And we are showing Kevin Harvick now as the first of the lead cars to get off of pit road according to NASCAR scoring. So he will be at the front of the field. Jimmy Spencer behind the pace car. Jimmy in the car number 12 being shown 6 laps back in the 33rd position.
Run on board with Randy LaJoie.
Lots of racing action coming our way Sunday. NASCAR Craftsman Trucks at 12:30 Eastern Time. Chicago 175. Following at 2:30 Eastern Time, the Northern Light Indy Racing League Series, the Kentucky Indy 300. That's where our buddy Bob Jenkins is up at the Kentucky for the Northern Light Series event at 2:30 Eastern Time on Sunday afternoon. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
This is the left rear tire off Casey Atwood's car. He couldn't get in his stall. Not only was it tight, but because this tire was flat, the car would not turn. You can see how this tire gives. Obviously, this one does not. He had a flat left rear that prevented him from making the turn to get fully into his stall. He did get penalized for not being properly in the pit box.
And that penalty cost him a lap. He's being shown a lap down in 16th position.
Green flag.
He was running 4th prior to that pit stop and that costly penalty. Wow, tough race for Casey Atwood.
Now Jimmy Spencer's in the 12 car, passing the 2, and here comes Atwood. He's going to go. Now, will Jason Keller try to fall in by the 2 car? Looks like he is.
Atwood got his lap back, but how about the lead? Here comes Jason Keller on the inside of Kevin Harvick. Side by side, down the back straightaway.
Boy, Harvick is hanging tough on that outside line.
There's Chevrolets. Keller Keller, the veteran, former Bristol winner. Harvick, the rookie, and right behind him, chopping it.
Clear.
I can't believe that. Harvick maintained the lead from the outside.
How about that? What a great job by Kevin Harvick. Casey Atwood now back on the lead lap, going by Jimmy Spencer, trying to. And man, now let's get a yellow flag.
Oh, almost. There is going to be one, I think. No, he did it. He saved it somehow, some way.
Somehow Casey Atwood hung on. Wow. Getting a little nudge from Jimmy Spencer in the turn. Side-by-side action. Harvick the leader. Atwood trying to stay on the lead lap. Now pulls Harvick by half a car length. Now once again, he'll fight his way back and go by the 12 car.
Check that time, the 34 car, Mike McLaughlin, third best speed that time.
One car up very high on a turn 4. That was Jeff Purvis. Slid way up across the racetrack.
And a couple of cars crashed down the front straightaway, which brings out the caution flag. Michael Rich is one of them in the 55, and Kelly Denton is the other in the 75.
Lap 163 will have the 6th caution flag of the night. Michael Rich, a great qualifying run in his Ford Taurus. And a break for Casey Atwood. Perseverance paid off. There's the 75 of Kelly Denton also involved. And how about Casey Atwood? 20 years of age, fought his way back around the leaders, got a little bump from Jimmy Spencer, almost lost it and fought his way back, and now is back on the tail end of the lead lap, or on the lead lap.
Great job by Casey Atwood. There we see the 55 car, around he goes, and the 75 car gets that wobble going, can't ever get it saved, and both those cars go. And there we see the contact with the right rear in the wall with the 55. Not too bad. They should be able to knock that out.
All the cars trying to slow down behind him to avoid being contact. Mark Green doing a nice job in the Superflow car to keep it out of harm's way. Let's check in once again in the pits with Bill Weber.
Well, Jerry and Benny, you know, you listen to these scanners so you can hear the guys talking back and forth to the crews during the race. And Casey Atwood, after the caution came back out and they told him where he would be on the lead lap, he said something very simple. I've never driven that hard in my life.
It looked like it, Bill. It looked like he really was trying to get that car back in the lead lap because I guess the driver would kind of blame himself for not getting in the pit box and costing the team a penalty. Purvis goes there. You talked about very high. That was the contact with Sterling Marlin.
That's how Jeff Purvis went up across the racetrack. Talking about Casey Atwood, it was announced earlier this week that he will run 3 Winston Cup events before this year is out, driving for Ray Evernham in a Ford Taurus. He'll run at Richmond, Martinsville, and Homestead. And this young man has a lot of talent. He just proved right there that he has got a tremendous amount of ability.
Yes, he does.
Heading set for the restart after the caution.
Race cars in. Green flag.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Green flag, lap 168 after the 6th caution flag of the night.
Boy, the 2 cars, Kevin Harvick catch a huge break. The 57 was hung up behind the 77 of Jeff Fuller. Harvick got by him. Keller did not. Look at Fuller come. He's trying to get that lap back.
Fuller's 1 lap down in 17th position. And if this was an audition for a job somewhere, I'd hire Jeff Fuller. He is driving his heart out, coming from 43rd starting spot, but may not have enough oomph, and that car's already been bent up a little bit, as now Jason Keller goes by, and Fuller will... Here's Hermie Sadler in the 7 car. He is shown 2 laps down in 27th position, driving for Ed Whitaker. He goes by. The 3rd place car is the yellow number 10 there of our points leader, Jeff Green.
Well, the good news is Casey Atwood got his lap back. The bad news is he's back in 15th, which he lines up too wide. He's basically restarting in the 30th spot, trying to work his way back to the front.
I've got to believe in the years to come, NASCAR fans are going to remember this night when they saw what Casey Atwood did and watch him knife his way through traffic in years to come.
Andy Kirby, the 39 car, has made some contact with the wall. He has taken his car to the pits on the backstretch.
Hit it twice. Williams Travel Center's crew now coming across. Clarence Brewer car. There's a rumor that possibly this young man, Andy Kirby, talented driver, will be full-time next year in Busch Series. Williams Travel Center's on board. Good to have him on full-time in Busch Series competition.
Jason Keller will not let Kevin Harvick get away. Casey Atwood talked about how always see the 25 car, Kenny Wallace, takes over the 4th position from Sterling Marlin.
Fourth, fifth, and sixth. That's Wallace. You're riding along with Sterling Marlin, and right behind him is the 99 of Michael Waltrip. There's the yellow freight roof cam, the Aaron's Rents Chevy for Michael Waltrip, the Ronnie Silver prepared car. First of 6 events that Michael will drive in Busch competition with Aaron's Rents as a sponsor. Here's we wind down the 2000 season.
There we see Jay Sauter in the 43 trying to close in on the back of Michael Waltrip. He is 7th. Todd Bodine, last week's winner, is in the 8th position.
We close in on 50 laps to go. Lap 178, up 250. Good crowd on hand enjoying NASCAR Busch Series action Bristol style. High bank rubbing and bumping. Back with more in just a moment. Tennessee, I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap. Bring you exciting live NASCAR Busch Series action. Anxious moments just a moment ago for Jason Keller trying to work traffic, but he hangs about 2 car lengths back from Kevin Harvick.
Will not let Harvick get away. And I tell you what, one more caution flag and Kenny Wallace get up in this mix. That Lanscar has moved up to the 4th spot. Having watched him on to the last couple laps, he has been faster than the leaders. There's a 3rd place car, Jeff Green.
There is Green. You just heard Benny talk about it. The car that he's commenting on that's really coming toward the front is the car right there, the orange and white numerals, car number 25, the Lance Snack Chevrolet, owned by Ed Rensie and driven by Kenny Wallace.
Right now he's about 2 1/4 seconds behind the leader.
Kenny Wallace, a former winner here in Busch competition at Bristol Motor Speedway. 6th and 7th spot, Benny.
That's Michael Waltrip, the 99 car. He's in 6th. Todd Bodine in 7th. And they're about to switch that because Todd's about to go in 6th. So, little contact there.
Earlier we saw Jimmy Spencer lose a valve stem with some contact like that, sidewall to sidewall contact. Now Michael Waltrip goes back by Todd Bodine.
Michael Waltrip is running higher on the racetrack. Sometimes he does it at this racetrack at Bristol. Oh, once again, almost in contact. There we see the results of that contact a little bit ago. And that's Michael is not moving over to let him go by. That's where he's trying to run right now.
Once again, they are battling for 6th position. Todd Bodine, last week's winner. He just joined our coverage. Ray Dunlap reported earlier that Todd had an air gun problem on a pit stop, had to restart back in about 29th position. Has fought his way through traffic, and now they have to go around the Jason Schuler car.
That won't bother Michael one bit because he's up in his glory when he has to go by all these guys on the outside. He's in his groove. Uh-oh, now he's got to put the ball on the racetrack. What'll happen down here?
Oh, that was Jason Leffler in the 18 car driving for Joe Gibbs, and now Michael Rich is the next candidate for this 2-car battle, and they go beneath him. Hornaday and David Green. And how about that guy in the 27 back there? Here he comes.
Casey Atwood has moved up just to 14th, but he has caught these guys, the 12th and 13th place runners. car, Green, goes by Hornaday. Here comes Casey Atwood on the inside of Ron.
A moment ago, these two were side by side, and they will be side by side again if we just give you a few seconds here. Todd Bodine will, well, he's going to try to pull back up on the inside of Michael Waltrip.
And Atwood gets on the inside of Hornaday. That's the battle for the 13th spot. So Casey Atwood from a lap down moves into 13th.
Casey Atwood's best finish this year has been 7th 3 times. He did it at Texas, New Hampshire, and Nazareth. Driving the Castrol GTX Chevrolet for Clarence Brewer. Clarence has got to be smiling from ear to ear. So is Greg Evernham, I'm sure, watching this.
Yes, he is. There's a 59 of Phil Parsons, the Kingsford car, trying to get by Hornaday. Little contact. Phil is a lap down. This is not a battle for position. Guess what, folks? Would you believe the 66 and 99 are side by side? Well, not anymore.
Well, Todd Bodine able to make the pass and slide right up in front of Michael, and Michael, now he'll fall back single file. We'll see if Todd Bodine can now pull away a little bit. Back up front, Kevin Harvick going beneath Mark Green, the Superflow Chevy. Less than 50 laps to go here in this Food City 250, and Kevin Harvick, the pole sitter, has dominated, leading 193 of 202 laps so far. Back with the final 48 laps in just a moment. Own form of excitement here in extreme racing, Bristol, Tennessee style, as Kevin Harvick still leads, but Michael Rich is on pit road and Ray is there.
Well, Jerry, right rear tire went down on the 55 car. You remember, he was in that last caution along with Kelly Denton where they spun down the front stretch, and they came in, changed tires. He went out, ran about 3 laps, and Michael said this right rear is already going down. So they're having a pretty tough luck now, about 3 or 4 laps down.
All right, Jerry, Kevin Harvick, the leader, the 2 car, has caught some heavy traffic, which has allowed Jeff Green, the 10 car, to catch up to the 57. And how they work through this traffic could determine who's going to win this thing today with just 35 laps to go.
We told you Jeff Green has been here 15 times, and although he's won a lot this year, 5 times, he's never won at Bristol, Tennessee. That's his teammate, by the way, Jason Keller, the 57 car right in front of him, in the Excedrin PM colors for that Chevrolet.
Ron Hornaday about to go a lap down as we see Jeff Green, we were talking about. There he is. There's Hornaday and the 36 car up Bedowa. Those guys are running 14th and 15th.
Kevin Harvick has now led 207 laps. Benny becomes the first Busch Series driver ever to lead more than 200 laps at a Busch event in Bristol, Tennessee history. 37 races dating back to 1982.
He's definitely had a dominant car tonight. There's no doubt about that. And here's Kenny Wallace. He has closed up on the back bumper of Jeff Green. Top 4 cars, nose to tail. And here goes Kenny Wallace trying to go the outside of Jeff Green. He's going to pull it off.
Kenny Wallace takes 3rd. He makes a move for 2nd.
He's up below you. Come on, we got to dig. Trap him in there. Don't leave him in there. Still there. Still there.
That's Keller's spotter you're listening to there.
Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there.
I think he's still there, Benny.
Okay, get focused, buddy. Come on.
All right. Now Kenny Wallace has got to go back down the bottom of the racetrack. Kenny caught a tough break. About the time he was going someplace, the 2 car got on the inside of the 36 and moved the 36 of Bedowa right up in Kenny Wallace's way. Otherwise, he might be the leader right now.
All right. Harvick the leader. The 57 is in 2nd spot. Keller. Jeff Green is 3rd to 10. Then comes the Lance car of Kenny Wallace in 4th. The 5th place car is Michael Waltrip in the 66 machine. Aaron's Rent's car. 6th is Sterling Marlin, and 7th is Jay Sauter. Open the log at top 10. Final Busch Series event of the season at Bristol, Tennessee. 25 to go. Next time by. 25 laps from win number 2 for rookie driver Kevin Harvick.
Last time by, Kenny Wallace about the same speed as those 2 cars in front of him. And it looks like the Harvick once again pulls away when he gets open white racetrack.
Harvick has had a car that's been on a rail tonight. He's done a masterful job of working traffic as we are approaching the 20 lap to go mark. The laps are winding down at Bristol Motor Speedway. Can Harvick hold on? Will Keller, Green, or Wallace make a move? We'll find out when we come back for the final 20 laps. In points, Todd Bodine a moment ago bringing out caution number 7.
There's a bar, a stabilizer bar in the back of the car, and you see it sparking where it's dragging. It is broken. You see it dragging the racetrack, which it holds the rear housing in line with the body, and the body just swaying back and forth on the car. And he was smoking heavily, and I think NASCAR felt like that he had blown an engine. There we see the bar dragging the racetrack and sparking. Look at that rear housing go back and forth. It's lucky he didn't crash that baby.
Well, rear Panhard bar. Just watch that left rear tire. You see it begin to go underneath the body. Boy, all that smoke from underneath the car, and you would think we thought it was a blown engine when we first looked up as well as NASCAR.
Wow.
Well, less than 20 laps to go. There's Todd Bodine, who came in second in points after that win last week. Remember, we told you the points were very close. 148 points separate the top 5.
Now, what's going to happen to points? Are these guys going to pit? I don't think they have any tires left to pit, do they? They've changed 2 tires on the caution flag. But so far, no one has made a move toward pit road except Mike Dillon, but he's several laps down.
We're showing 11 cars on the lead lap with Casey Atwood, the last car on the lead lap.
I think everyone has used their tires, Jerry. I don't think they have any tires in the pit area any better than they have on the car.
NASCAR rule tonight was 2 tires per position under caution, so that may be the case. No one has any tires left, so they'll stay on the racetrack. We'll come back for this final shootout here in the final 12 laps. Stay with us.
So after they run about 10 laps, it appears as though Harvick will start pulling away.
Kevin Harvick awfully good coming off of turn 2. Let's see if Keller can get him coming on board. It'll be 10 to go. Next time by, Matt Abernathy, Busch Series flag will hold up 2 handfuls to the field. Harvick has led 229 of 238 laps.
Jeff Green, Kenny Wallace, Sterling Marlin still waging a good battle in 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Jay Sauter back in 6th spot, so another rookie back in the 6th position. Future very, very bright for the NASCAR Busch Series. These impressive rookie drivers: Hornaday, Harvick, Sauter, Jason Leffler.
And already just in a couple laps, we see that Harvick is starting to pull away from Jason Keller. There's no doubt who has the superior car here tonight.
Now, if you're Jason Keller, you want to hang on to 2nd spot, because here comes Kenny Wallace, Jeff Green, your teammate. Otter telling Jason they are indeed chasing him down.
Last time by, they were a couple of miles per hour faster than he was. See, Green and Wallace running about the same speed.
Keller, Green, Wallace, and then Sterling Marlin is the 01 car in 5th position, and Sauter in about a few car lengths back, about 15 car lengths back in 6th.
And we look at Sterling Marlin, the quickest car that last lap. A mile per hour faster.
Come on, buddy, come on.
And there's no doubt right now, Jason Keller's, oh, we got a crash. 77. Oh, and the 98 hard in the inside wall. McLaughlin goes around and backs into the 98 car. And here they come back to the line, and it will be the 2 car winning the race back to the line. And Elton Sawyer quickly jumps out of his car because there is a fire under the hood.
Elton Sawyer's Lysol machine. You take a look at the Eckerd roof cam. Heavy damage there on the car number 98 for Elton Sawyer, who was 6th in points coming into the night. 8th caution flag tonight, coming out on lap 246. Elton looks to be okay.
Looks to be very, very is angry or dejected. Which would be the proper word?
Probably both.
Now this thing is going, if they stay caution, if they don't throw the red flag, this thing is going to end on the caution flag. And the flagman just picked up the red flag.
Red flag.
And that is a great call. That is a great call by Busch director John Darby. These fans paid to come here, some 100,000 of them, and they deserve to see a green flag finish, and a green flag finish they are going to see.
And the cars have stopped on the backstretch until we get this mess cleaned up. They have not. When they come by to get the signal 1 to go, they will complete 246. Next time by will be 247. So we're going to see at least 3 laps of green flag racing, unless we have another wreck and another caution.
Let's show you what happened here just a little bit ago here. Some bumping and rubbing here. Lap 245, bringing out the 8th caution flag. There's Jeff Fuller getting a little tap from behind. His car goes around.
That was Kevin LePage that got into him. And we see the heavy contact as he hits the wall. And then the 98 car gets hit from behind, I guess, by David Green. It's a pretty good contact to the 34 car. And then McLaughlin, I guess, gets bumped from behind, and he backs into the 98 car. And then the fire starts.
Different angle. You see the 98 car, boom, almost head on into the inside concrete wall. Here comes the 48 car, McLaughlin, into the backside.
This is on board with Kevin LePage. Here's what starts the crash. Right there's the contact between the 77 and Kevin LePage. And here's the 98 car, Elton Sawyer, as he sees it.
Wow.
And there's the fire.
And there's the red flag. So we're going to get about a 3-lap shootout here. And remember, Jason Keller is awfully good on restarts. Harvick has been the leader. We'll come back for a green flag finish to Bristol in just a moment. In Bristol, Tennessee, we are under a red flag condition due to a caution flag coming out with just 5 laps to go. NASCAR has red flagged the field so we can get a green flag finish here. That's what they want, that trophy here for the Food City 250 champion here tonight in August. Now, coming up next, we'll be going out to San Francisco for the X Games, so why don't we go out to San Fran for a preview of tonight's events? Here's Susie Colbert. Looking forward to all that excitement from out in San Francisco for the X Games, and wow, a little bit of extreme action going here. Probably close to 100,000 fans. Watch what happened a moment ago here with this contact.
Kevin LePage makes contact with the 77 car of Jeff Fuller. And, folks, that was just the start of the wreck. There we see Fuller going around the 77 car, the Lear car. Spins around. Bam, he's in the inside wall. But behind them, in all the smoke, other cars are making contact. Watch you see as the 77 car comes off turn 4. He spins. Now, watch as the 98 car gets a bump from behind, and bam, in an inside wall. And here comes the 48 car, and he also runs in the back of Elton Sawyer. The fire did not hurt anyone. Now, you see the fire, but no one was injured in the fire.
Well, that's where we are. We have red flagged the field, sitting over in the back straightaway behind the safety car. Dennis Dillard, the pace car driver, sitting there watching. We will have the restart and probably about 3 laps of green flag racing action. Let's check in down the garage area with Ray.
Well, thanks, Jerry. Want to hear from Steve Addington, the crew chief on Jason Keller's car. You went to Victory Lane here a year ago. What's your prediction for tonight?
I don't know. 2 cars pretty tough. You know, this probably get our best chance here with it letting the tires cool down because he'd pretty much used them up right there. But he's going to give it all he's got for 5 laps and hope we can put this Excedrin PM Racing Chevrolet in victory lane.
All right, good luck. Steve Addington wishing Jason Keller good luck here. It's going to be fun. I love these green-white checkered finishes.
All right, that's what we're going to have, a good old-fashioned short track trophy dash, Bristol, Tennessee style. And if the fans come in tonight, and folks, tomorrow night, 149,000 seats, all of them sold. The suites are full, the infield's full. Folks, it's going to be a barn burner. Hard to get much more exciting than this, but it'll be 500 laps tomorrow night for the NASCAR Winston Cup Stars. Back with the finish of Busch action in just a moment. There'll be 1 to go when they come by. When they refired just a moment ago, there was a problem with the car number 57 of Jason Keller.
It would not start. We see his teammate Jeff Green pull up behind him. He gave him a push. The vehicle still would not start. And Jason Keller goes to the apron of the racetrack. They sent out a record to give him a push. And all of a sudden, for some reason, the car restarted.
I gave him a second push when it wouldn't fire. Again, they are teammates, Keller and Jeff Green. And Jeff's trying to get it fired, still wouldn't start.
As I said, he pulled down on pit road. The record comes up behind him, and all of a sudden, boom, it restarts, and he drives away. He goes back to his rightful position in second place, and now we're set for the green flag, Gary.
All right, 2 laps for the shootout. Pace car is off. Kevin Harvick, Keller, Green, Wallace out of turn 4.
Green flag. Come on down.
It'll be green, white, and checkered as they come out of turn 2. A mile from the checkered flag is Kevin Harvick. White flag flies for Kevin Harvick. Harvick, Keller, Green, Kenny Wallace, Sterling Marlin. That's the top 5. Final time by for impressive rookie driver Kevin Harvick at 24 years of age. And he will come by and take the victory at Bristol Motor Speedway. Impressive run by Kevin Harvick, leading 241 of 250 laps. That, folks, is domination.
And he's saying to Jason Keller, thank you very much for running me as clean tonight as you did. There's several opportunities to make contact. They did not.
Well, we've seen fireworks all night long, so why not some fireworks when it's all over? How about a great battle between Casey Atwood and Michael Waltrip to the line?
Atwood, the 27 car, gets on the inside of Michael Waltrip. This is coming down to the checkered flag. Casey looks like he has the advantage, and he come off the corner. Michael has the momentum, and it's Michael beats him to the line for the 8th position.
Wow, great effort by both those drivers, and this young rookie driver picks up his 2nd victory of the season. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
We want to hear from Todd Barrier, buddy. At the top of this show, I said the Winston Cup guys, we're going to have them covered tonight. You guys sure proved me wrong.
I tell you what, Kevin, and this AC Delco Monte Carlo was on the rail all night tonight. Can't say enough about it, man. I tell you what, it was a 4-team effort. You know, if it wasn't for the 21, the 3, and the 31, we combined a lot of stuff. When we got here today, we run 5 laps, and Harvick was satisfied. He said, we're good. We don't really need to practice anymore. We all kind of talked, made a bunch of changes. The 21 kind of talked me into some things that I wasn't really planning on going to do, but it all worked out, and I owe it all to them, you know.
Excellent. Good run. Todd Barrier, the winning crew chief tonight here at Bristol.
And he heads the victory lane. And we take a look at our final results here. Kevin Harvick dominates. Jason Keller 2nd. Green, Kenny Wallace, and Sterling Marlin at the top 5. Great run by another rookie driver, Jay Sauter, the Quality Farm and Country Chevrolet in 6th. Purvis in the back of the field in 7th, and Michael Waltrip beats Casey Atwood for 8th spot.
See, Hank Parker leads that group for 16th position. And Kyle Petty will finish 19th, a couple of laps down. Buckshot Jones back in 27th. He's 4 laps down. And Kevin Grubb, involved in that first lap or 3rd or 4th lap crash, will finish 43rd this evening.
And you saw Todd Bodine back in 30th position back there. He came in 2nd in points at the broken 10-yard bar. Impressive performance. The first time in Busch Series history a driver has led more than 200 laps at Bristol, Tennessee. Remember the name, Kevin Harvick. You'll hear it for a lot of years to come in NASCAR. Go down to Victory Lane and Bill Weber.
Okay, what am I supposed to do now? Boy, oh boy, I don't think I can get near this guy. There are all kinds of teammates and crewmen. Did you bring your own? Did you bring your own fan club here?
All these guys are good buddies, and they're probably the biggest fans I got. I tell you what, this AC Delco Monte Carlo was flat out awesome tonight. All night long, I could drive it as hard as I wanted to, and these guys are the greatest. I want to thank Gil. He came over to 21. He hit on something, and it helped us a ton tonight.
You had to drive hard because Jason Keller was right behind you almost the entire second half of the race.
You know, last time I thought he wrecked me on purpose here, and the way he raced me tonight, I mean, he's a real racer. He raced me hard, and wow, what a finish. 5 laps to go. Bristol leading the race. It's awesome.
Congratulations.
Here's the man right here.
Richard Childress here, Kevin Harvick in Victory Lane. Here's Ray Dunlap.
And we want to hear from Jason Keller. Great run out there tonight, but just not quite enough.
Well, I felt like I was as good, or if not better, than Kevin was there in the middle part of the race. But Kevin did a great job. I want to congratulate him. And 600 PM car ran great all night, too. And had a stupid move over there at the end. And it liked to cost me a second-place finish. And luckily, I got a teammate like Jeff Green to help me out there a little bit. And it was our night to finish second, and I'm real happy with that.
Did your heart come up to your throat when it wouldn't refire?
Tears came to my eyes because, you know, I just felt like I'd ran hard all night, and, you know, I was going to let it slip away there at the end. I should have cut it off. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't think the red flag was going to be that long, and NASCAR helped me out a lot there at the end. They could have penalized me there, and I raced for the best sanctioning body in the country, and tonight proves it.
Okay, that's Jason Keller. He'll move to second in the points in the Busch Series.
Fair play for all. We'll show you the points now with 8 events remaining. Jeff Green has a 589-point lead over Jason Keller. Kevin Harvick now in third, just 7 points behind Jason Keller. And Todd Bodine, by virtue of that 30th place finish, that really hurt him tonight. He drove his heart out, but had a problem with a broken suspension part. He will finish 30th and slide back to 4th in the points. A lot of racing action to come your way here tomorrow from Bristol Motor Speedway. NASCAR today, 7 Eastern time. And of course, NASCAR Winston Cup, GoRacing.com 500, our live flag-to-flag coverage presented by SkyTel, 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN. RPM tonight will wrap it up at 2:30 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Well, the celebration is ongoing down in Victory Lane as 24-year-old Kevin Harvick has pulled off something no one else has done in the history of Busch racing. At this racetrack, he led over 200 laps. Remember, coming up next, X Games, Day 7 Prime Time, hosted by Susie Colbert.
Versatile vehicle on.
Welcome to the little city of Hampton, Georgia, about 25 miles south of Atlanta, where the temperature is a chilly 40 degrees, but the racing is always red hot. Its high banks and unique configuration make this track the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the fastest on the NASCAR circuit. And today on FX, we kick off a fast and furious weekend of racing with the 4th Busch race of the year, the Aaron's 312, 312 miles, the longest Busch race on the season, and it should be a terrific race with a lightning quick pace. Hi, I'm Chris Myers, coming to you from our mobile studio right near the finish line here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Sterling Marlin will be joining us in a moment. The 02 and the 2 car, that's Ryan Newman and Winston Cup rookie Kevin Harvick, are number 1 on the front row. Mark Martin, who of course no longer races in the Busch Series, won this race last year, but Greg Biffle, last year's truck champion, taking over in Martin's car, he starts 5th, someone to watch for in today's race. And we're going to start with our crew chief, Jeff Hammond. And this track, fast and furious. Ryan Newman already set a Busch Series qualifying record, over 191 miles per hour. What should we expect today?
Well, Chris, what happens when we come to Atlanta is this racetrack, the way it's laid out, the transitions back into the corners are so smooth, it allows the drivers actually to run down in the corner without even lifting. Actually, you do not need to touch the brakes as you go around this place here. It is just so smooth. The way the corners are made, the guys can drive it to the bottom, keep their foot in it. This place is very fast, and it's very exciting.
All right, Todd Bodine has a chance to win 3 in a row. Now, he came in, he's going to drive in place of Buckshot Jones, who originally was scheduled, but Buckshot said, hey, even though I own things, right, I'm going to give it up. But they're going to use the car that they used in Rockingham, not the one they originally planned for Atlanta. Why?
Well, it's real simple. Drivers are very finicky. When it comes to their race cars, they want to have what they want. And right now, Todd Bodine, he wants that race car. He feels very comfortable in it. He's won races in it. And when you come to a racetrack that's this fast, you want to make sure the driver's comfortable. By all means, you want to have the right race car under him. And right now, I think those guys have made the right choice.
All right, Todd Bodine also running in the Winston Cup race tomorrow. You'll see that on Fox. Let's go down to the hot driver. He's standing by with our Dick Bergman. Dick?
And the big question is, Todd, you run so well. You've got 2 in a row. There's only been 5 guys before you who have won 3 in a row. Can you do that today?
Well, I don't know. We don't quite have the rocket ship we've had the last 2 races, but car's really good. We've made some changes this morning. Planned on the weather a little bit to change the racetrack, so we'll just have to see. Buckshot and Billy give us a good car again, and Gary and the guys have done a great job. It's just it's a long race, and we can make some adjustments and try to get back up there.
Now, this wasn't supposed to be a steady thing. This was supposed to be a once in a while. You're running every race. You going to be with us next week or not?
Well, I think we are. Right now, the plan is, so we'll go to Darlington. I've always run well at Darlington, and maybe we keep it going there.
All right. Well, good luck. Have a good day, bud. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Dick. And Todd's a big Sinatra fan. We'll see if he can do it his way. Bodine trying to become the 6th driver to win 3 in a row. The last Busch driver to win 3 in a row was Earnhardt Jr. back in 1999. The record is 4, set by Sam Ard back in 1984. Todd Bodine leading the Busch Series with 2 wins. And a quick thought on a driver's mentality when he has to work in both, but he's on a roll in one particular phase of his driving.
It doesn't matter. When a guy likes to drive like Todd does, he's going to get in his race car, whether it's a Winston Cup or a Busch car, and he's going to put it flat on the floor. And the good thing about it is he's got a feel going. He loves these racetracks. Atlanta's a good track for him. I'm telling you right now, my money's on him. I'm telling you right now.
We'll get an official prediction from you in a moment. Coming up, Sterling Marlin will be joining us. We'll be talking a little Winston Cup racing as well. As you get a look at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, we're getting ready for the Aaron's 312. It'll be fast and furious. Some of the drivers that will be participating just about 18 minutes away. There's Michael Waltrip, the Daytona 500 winner, who has won 8 career races in the Busch Series. We'll be back on FX in a moment. The Atlanta Motor Speedway site of some important historical moments in NASCAR. The fall race in '92 when Richard Petty made his farewell race. There's Ryan Newman. Also, Jeff Gordon made his debut, and Ryan Newman on the pole driving for Penske. Kevin Harvick, last year's Busch Rookie of the Year. And Jeff Green also participating. He'll start 21st today, 5th in Las Vegas last week, and of course the points champion last year in the Busch Series. Let's check the standings for Busch so far. Kevin Harvick, who's been busy in Winston Cup as well, in a dead heat with Jeff Green. You see Greg Biffle 3rd on that list. And as far as Winston Cup standings go, with the Cracker Barrel 500 to be run tomorrow, which you'll see on Fox, Sterling Marlin, the only driver to finish in the top 10 in all 3 races, leading the pack, as Dale Jarrett 4th, Steve Park 5th on that list. Jeff Gordon moving up to 2nd after his win in Las Vegas. And it's our pleasure to welcome to our mobile studio here, the Hammond Hollywood Hotel.
Don't forget that now. You got a reservation here.
Nice of you to visit. You can check in whenever you want. You might have trouble checking out, though, Sterling. But let me ask you, being the points leader without having won a race yet, and then you come to a race like Atlanta, did your strategy change a little bit? Are you a little less aggressive given the circumstances?
No, we're not. I mean, we're going to take it race for race, and you know, we had a good chance to win 2 out of 3 races. We had a good car at Rockingham and run out of brakes, but the car seems to be working real well here, and had a good run last fall. So we'll try to run the same chassis combination and see what we got.
I was talking to Tony yesterday afternoon. He seems so rejuvenated and so focused right now. Have you guys, have you changed anything from last year?
Well, Tony, last year he really helped the 01 car.
Yeah.
And over the winter, they moved Tony over to me, and we picked up Lee McCall from Jeremy's team and just put a bunch of new guys in place. And Ernie Elliott doing the motors, and got our own fab shop going, and kind of got a good little factory going there. So
the thing is, I want to make sure everybody understands. Tony Glover has been your crew chief when you drove for a couple other teams, and now he's kind of like back as a team manager, semi.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't teach us old crew chiefs. We got to keep us
Everybody's
involved.
on a first-name basis.
Everybody wants to be involved.
But you've been the best of the Dodgers. You're surprising some people, and people thought Dodgers were sandbagging a little at Daytona when you got off to the good start, but you didn't really know what they were. No, he said they were. He said they were.
No, we tested in Daytona, and we was about a half second off, and that's what I like about this team. I called Andy Graves up the Thursday after we get back from Daytona. So what we're going to do? He said, well, we're building 2 new cars right now, and built 2 cars in like 5.5 days, go to the wind tunnel, go to Talladega, and the new cars like a half second quicker. And that's what it takes. It takes a lot of work and effort, and Jeff knows you can't quit in this sport. You got to keep after it day in, day out to stay on top.
And that's probably one thing right now I think you're really faced with. You may be out front, but there's still a long way to go to November, isn't it?
A long way to go. I mean, we think we can, talking to Ernie, I think they can improve the motor some, and the fab guys think they can make some better downforce cars, so we'll just keep working and see what happens.
Have you been surprised with the Dodge power plant? Because I have. I can't believe how good it's ran and how durable it's been.
I kind of felt like, going into the season with, they've been in the truck series for, 3 or 4 years now, and they weren't going to come in and be short-handed, and they really put a good deal together with the motor, and we've been tickled to death with it.
People remember the death threat that came after Dale Earnhardt's loss at Daytona. Dale Earnhardt Jr. stepped out in your defense, and you spoke about that, and you had to have actually bodyguards in Rockingham. I guess since you haven't needed that, is that correct? And I wondered, Sterling, I think the viewers do too, how in the big picture that affected you in the way you race.
Well, we just, it was a bad day in racing, and I felt like once everybody went back and looked at the tape, they saw what happened. And, Dale Jr. coming and Michael stepping up and saying things, and I couldn't say enough about the fraternity here at NASCAR, all the owners, drivers, crew guys, and I mean, I've had a ton of Earnhardt fans come up and say, man, no problem. You're just racing hard like you want to, and it just happened. So it's been all 100% positive since, the Monday after Daytona.
Right, and you have done an excellent job handling that and doing your job on the track. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck out there on Sunday, all right?
Okay, thanks.
All right, have fun. Sterling Marlin, your points leader in the Winston Cup Series thus far, trying to pull off a victory in Atlanta. And we'll come back as you'll see the Aaron's race here on FX. Looks like Darrell Waltrip on his way to the broadcast booth, right?
Exactly. Out of control as usual.
We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back on FX as we're getting ready for the Aaron's 312 Busch race. You'll see it live in just a couple of moments as the drivers are getting ready to whip around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 312 miles. It's the longest Busch race of the season, and the cars lining up and ready to go. With Jeff Hammond on the pole is Ryan Newman, someone who works with Rusty Wallace with the Penske team, and that's had to be a benefit for him.
Oh, absolutely. When you got somebody like Rusty and Jeremy Mayfield in your corner to help you out, you got a big thing going for you right there. But the other thing about Ryan Newman is so impressive. He is an engineer, and he can really help his engineers understand what they're trying to do with the car when they go testing. To me, he's a driver of the future for Penske, Penske Enterprises, and he's a great young man, and he's got a lot of talent. He's going to be great today.
But he's not your pick. Who do you pick to win today's race?
No, unfortunately, he's not. I'm going to go with the guy who's been getting the job done here lately, and that's Todd Bodine. Everybody says, well, maybe you're getting on a winner, but hey, the guy's on a roll, and I'm going to stay with him for a while.
All right, for Jeff Hammond, I'm Chris Myers. The race is coming up next. We'll find out who the contenders and the pretenders are.
You better pull the belts tight, lock and load, and get ready for one heck of a ride. Well, right now, we're going to let you enjoy some pure American NASCAR horsepower.
Welcomes you to Atlanta Motor Speedway.
for what could well be the fastest NASCAR Busch race of the year, and it's certainly the longest, the Aaron's 3:12.